Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you, firstly, for tuning in to the very first instalment of the Western Springs NPOW podcast. Today, I am joined with the wonderful Toby Mangelsdorf.
Hi there, everyone.
Yeah, welcome. He has very graciously joined in.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's been good. So thank you for tuning in. I thought I'd start off by just quickly establishing the podcast itself. So, welcome. I'm glad you've all found it. We are currently sitting at 4 views, which is, a good start, but we've got 8 likes. So we've had people hopping in and out, but that's
on my one, it's 9 watching now.
But that's good. So we've got some people commenting. We've got Cameron Savoy saying "sup oos."
Oh yes.
Awesome, good stuff. But yeah, so welcome. So the idea of this podcast, if you can hear any background noise, we've got a junior assembly behind us in the official podcast studio. But you shouldn't hear them too much. They're actually being quite quiet, so that's good. But welcome. The idea for this podcast is for it to be a weekly thing. This is our first episode, so be gentle on us. If there are issues with sound and one person's a lot louder than the other, then please comment, let us know. But yeah, we should be good, and we'll get better as we go. But welcome. We have a whole range of topics to discuss today. The first one that I want to go on to, and it's probably a bit of a blow when you think about it, but I think it is quite interesting, is this article that was on the Herald recently. Was on biking and helmets, and basically was talking about this lovely gentleman here who looks like James Woodfine. His name is James Woodfine, who looks remarkably like the very famous actor Bill Nighy. Which I mean, it's
my goodness,
uncanny, like it just looks the exact same. So that's great. I saw him, and that was kind of my first thought. But he's a 61-year-old anaesthetist from North Shore Hospital, and he's been riding his bike since he was 5 years old. And he crashed, he went over the handlebars, and he cracked his helmet, and it ended up looking like this, which, I mean, it did its job. His quote that he left for the Herald was, "A no-brainer, brains don't heal like bones." So, do you ride bikes often?
I used to. When we had a batch at Point Wells near Omaha, we'd always...
right.
Can you?
Yeah.
We'd always bike up at Point Wells in Omaha with my family, and we rode bikes a lot, but less now.
Right, yeah. Like primary school, I did it a lot. I think I rode bikes often. But I mean, like nowadays, I hardly wear a helmet. I don't think I've worn a helmet in years, which I mean is guilty as charged.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in my ability, so I've always just kind of thought that it wasn't necessary. But
because isn't the whole anti-helmet campaign, isn't it arguing that the law saying that you have to wear a helmet has caused a decrease in people actually cycling?
Right.
I think that's the argument, but then, safety, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing that a lot of people don't realise is it actually is law to wear a helmet.
What was it, 1994, I think?
So 1994, New Zealand law requires all cyclists to wear helmets, but there are actually quite a few people who want it gone, like cyclists, advocates, saying that it's holding back, that then they should be given the choice, considering that they're adults.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess is fine.
It makes sense. Should it be a law to wear something?
Yeah. But I mean, when I look at stories like this, where this guy is obviously a very adept cyclist, has been riding for many years, much longer than any of the students have been alive at least, and has done that. It's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an interesting little thing to get the brain going, really.
Yeah.
But
I didn't actually know there was even an anti-helmet campaign.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
I've
never seen. I've just always, and I didn't know it was a law either. I just assumed everyone wore it out of sort of common sense. But
right.
Now that I know it's a law, I'm not actually sure whether or not I think it should be a law.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. But yeah, don't know. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the chat here. We have Mr. King. Say hi to KGM. Hi KGM. Thank you for listening. We got a whole bunch of things. WLA, my form class is here, so well done, guys. Good for you listening. Then we have Cameron Savoy saying Miss Holbrook was hit by a car while riding a bike. So,
Who?
I'm sorry, miss.
Yeah,
That sounds awful.
Sounds
Doesn't
unfortunate.
Doesn't sound great, but yeah. So, yeah, we'll move on, but I just thought that was an interesting one to just kind of start off with. So, let's move on to what kind of everyone's talking about at the moment, which is the cricket stuff.
Can I just say, I have no knowledge of cricket, no idea what is considered, what is cheating.
Right.
I'm very... So,
Yeah.
you take the reins
Well,
on this.
I don't personally follow cricket. Like, I've never played it properly, but I do find it interesting. Basically, what's happened, for those who don't know, is for cricket, no ball is ever used twice. In a professional league, they use a different ball. And I mean, it makes sense because they're throwing balls at like 140 k's an hour. I think the fastest bowl ever was like 160 k's an hour, which is like stupidly fast.
That's crazy.
So it makes sense that if you're scratching the ball, which is what happened here, then it will completely affect how the ball travels. So, yeah, I'm not really surprised. I think it is interesting.
Not surprised that the Australians cheated.
No, I mean, like, although to be fair, I mean, no, I won't go
Yeah.
I mean, so here's a more close-up photo. So, in his left hand, or right hand rather, he has a piece of yellow tape, which he would have used to actually scratch the ball, affect the aerodynamics. But the interesting thing, I think the bit that's really interested me at the moment is how Australia is actually fighting for the best headline. So I mean, like, they're not taking it very seriously, considering that they're the country that kind of is at fault in a way.
Are they making a bit of a joke out of it?
Yeah, I mean, this one came up a couple of days ago. I won't read it out loud, but Northern Territory, which is a Australian publication, they posted this, and I'll just let you read, but I mean, it just shows that they're very they're taking the situation very seriously, but there you go, that's fine. Looking back in the chat, we got PRA is the best. I'm sure you're great. You are an Arte form class, so I'll give you props for that. We got Gabby Gray saying, "Don't you dare trash Oz." I mean, we're just simply reflecting our opinion on the situation here.
I was born in Australia, so
There you go.
Australia's a great place.
I think the most interesting thing, and I think this man, his name is Liam Croy, who's a presenter for an Australian publication. He posted this on his Twitter, and I think it perfectly sums up exactly like the opinion on the whole like victory. I mean, like, they obviously were caught, but I mean, even if they got away with it and had won, then is it really a victory at all?
So did they win or lose the game that they cheated in?
They didn't win.
Did they lose?
They were versing South Africa, and yeah. And now they'll be. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure they'll be disqualified, or there'll be some penalty going on. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would be wrong not to have a penalty.
yeah, definitely. I think it's interesting.
I just find it funny that the Australian news isn't sort of being a little harsher on their own team.
A little bit, eh? It's
Yeah.
kinda, I mean, like, you'd think that they'd take it seriously, but I mean, yeah. There's Eugene Loof just commented, "Fools, they cheated and didn't even win."
That sounds
There you go.
sounds like they're just a bit bad.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you need to cheat. I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. I'm sure the thing is that we haven't found out though is like whether it's a team thing or just that one player who decided to, like, whether it was a team idea or not. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll move on. This topic I find really just fun. I think it just perfectly sums up New Zealand.
That's nice.
So Ed Sheeran, for literally anyone who's ever had a Snapchat account ever will know that Ed Sheeran has been in Auckland for the last little weekend or so. And I mean, yeah, I personally don't listen to Ed Sheeran,
Neither.
but
He seems like a really nice guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a sweetheart, really. So, there you go. So, Jacinda Ardern is actually a big Ed Sheeran fan, which a lot of people don't realise, and she couldn't go to the concerts, but she messaged him and asked if he would come over and have tea and scones with her, as you can see from that. So here's the pic of the two. They yeah, I mean, there you go. And then the caption: couldn't make any of Ed Sheeran's shows while he was here, so cheekily suggested he come around for a cup and some scones. Didn't quite expect him to say yes. Thanks, Teddy Photos. Real treat to meet you. And as an added bonus, my scones weren't a complete disaster. So there you go. I think this, to me, this perfectly sums up New Zealand politics.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, trying to explain that to, even just, an American. Just trying to explain, yeah, we catch the same planes. And, Jacinda used to live on my street, funnily enough.
Really?
Yeah. She's recently moved to Sandringham, but, yeah, she used to live on my street. Try to explain that, just being yeah, I used to live on the same street as the Prime Minister.
Well, I reckon there's a real sort of, separation in other countries' politics that I don't think really is felt here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I don't know, especially with Jacinda, I feel like, one, she's brought so much more attention to New Zealand politics.
Yeah.
And the whole sort of comparing of her to other new generation leaders, which I think is really awesome, regardless of what you think.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like that it's that easy, that it's just this very, very chill thing for us, and there's none of this extra you get a mention being the Prime Minister. It's no, you live in your normal house. Yeah, no, I think it's cool.
Don't they get a mansion? I think they get a house in Wellington.
Oh, do they?
I believe it's called the Premier House, because I think, I don't might want to check that, but right. I think it's sort of for when they need to stay in Wellington, they've got a accommodation. Yeah. I believe, but I don't know, it's no White House. No White House.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So I'm just looking at the chat here. We've got Care83711. Let's talk about how form time is a big waste of time. I disagree. I think form time is fun.
You will now with this podcast, maybe.
Yeah,
every Tuesday extended form time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think I just think it's interesting.
Ariana has asked me if I'm no longer a young gnat. I would just like to make it clear I was never a young gnat. just to be real clear on that one.
Oh man. Finn Murphy, no way Jacinda dogging Point Chev. Yes, she is dogging Point Chev. I guess it means less police cars on my road. So there's that, and that's just this is protection, obviously. But just every night there is at least 2 sirens being heard at all times, pretty much. So that's fine. But yeah. So she's gone.
Aww.
Off to Sandringham. Where is Sandringham?
I have no clue.
Sandringham.
My knowledge of the city is very central based.
Sandringham is. We probably sound like complete morons. Oh, it's actually really close. It's it's next to Mount Albert. It's pretty much where St. Luke's is, according to Google Maps. I don't know how accurate that is, but apparently according to Google Maps it's there. So by St. Luke's. Right. Okay.
Sweet.
So let's move on. This one has been in the news quite a lot.
Yeah, this is a big topic.
This is a big topic.
This is the big one. This is the one I had a whole bunch of notes on.
Yeah. So Facebook. Now, literally, this has probably been the thing I've seen the most in the news recently, and it's probably a varying level of knowledge with this going on right now. So Facebook is currently facing very serious legal issues at the moment.
They're under a whole lot of fire.
They've dropped $70 billion in shares. Mark Zuckerberg's net worth has gone down $8 billion in a week or something like that. So that's crazy, to be honest. It just makes you think how much money the company has as a start, and then but basically, there's been a lot of stuff going on Facebook and a company called the Cambridge Analytica.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm not 100% certain on it, but from what I've heard, the company basically were using analytics from your Facebook account to help with the election in America. So that's pretty serious.
I think what they did, I've got written here, was that they used a man called Kogan, whose first or last name I'm not sure, but he made this app which he sent out to all these people, and it was basically a personality sort of test. And when you did the personality test, it got your information and got your Facebook information. These people who did the test obviously gave consent for it, but the thing was that it allowed this app to also get access to all your friends. So the original test went out to only 270,000 people, but through all their friends, they got access to millions and millions of people, which is where I believe the illegal part comes in.
Right. Yeah, because they were accessing.
And then, of course, Cambridge Analytica has got this information now, and they went around for quite a few years saying, we've got this amazing sort of profiling system that we can do on people from all this user information we have.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they ended up getting a lot of interest from multiple, I believe, Republican nominees and other like there's talk about them influencing Brexit.
Oh, really?
There's talk about them influencing other countries. Okay,
so this is deep. This is like a rabbit hole
when I read the document you sent me last night, I went way into it.
Really? It definitely sounds like a bit of a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. But then there's this Kiwi guy, right? Is that he found out that they were recording his texts and calls.
The guy, the name Dylan Mackay, is a software developer. He lives in Wellington, I believe, and he basically downloaded his Facebook data as a I can't remember what it was. I think it was a RAR file, but anyway, he downloaded it and he found that zip file, and he found that his entire call history with his partner's mum was just there.
And now Facebook's claiming that this is the sort of thing that they ask for permission for, but he's saying he never gave permission.
So I mean, like, for everyone who's used like the Messenger on an Android phone, I don't think it's on iOS, but I think on Android it's basically the way it works is you get asked whether they're allowed to access your contacts, and you can basically use Messenger to like text basically. So so this guy Dylan was denying that he ever allowed Facebook to use to access any of this stuff. So he opened it and was like, holy, okay, that's not right. So not only is Facebook facing like all the stuff going on with all the like shares and Cambridge Analytica and all that, but now they're now also facing that themselves are accessing information that they shouldn't be, according to this guy. I mean, we do need to appreciate that this could be fake, because he may have allowed them to access his stuff, like we don't know.
And not realised it, maybe.
Yeah, so we don't know. I mean, you just never know. Like, one of those situations, we weren't paying attention. But I do think it's strange that, like, how... he said, like, his Facebook data rather than, like, his Messenger data. So this is off, like, the actual app itself. So, I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, because I think a lot of political sort of parties and campaigns use data mining.
Yeah.
But it's just the issue of Cambridge Analytica's wasn't consensual data sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is worrying, because there's a lot of people suggesting that that's how Trump got elected.
Yeah, it is worrying. I agree. I like, it just makes you wonder, eh? Makes you wonder.
Well, isn't that how Facebook makes their money? Don't they sell?
Yeah, and I mean, like lots of other companies do as well. Like Google definitely does it.
I think John Bigglebottom
whoever
is wanting us to get off politics.
Whoever John Bigglebottom is, we don't appreciate it. Facebook is stealing our brains and is making us fake humans. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, in some ways they kind of are, really. Like, they know what we like, who we like, all our friends, where we go, what we do, etc.
Oliver Eden asked for a little bit of Western Springs College Central news. So, do you have a stall at O Week this week?
No, I don't. I was gonna make one, but I guess that is something that worth mentioning. That O Week is today.
And Wednesday and Thursday, is that right?
And Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure you go.
I believe the Board of Trustees will have a stall there, maybe tomorrow and the next day. So if you want to, I'm on the Board of Trustees as the Western Springs College representative, along with Tama.
Yeah.
So, come along if you're interested in what we do.
Yeah, I just think, like, it would definitely be worth going. I mean, like, a lot of people don't realise that Springs actually does have a lot of stuff, like lots of different clubs. Like, if you ever go through the yearbook and you look at all the, like, club photos, you'll be amazed at how many people, like, it's crazy. So, yeah, definitely.
Oscar Greniff says, great podcast, guys.
Oh, thank you, Oscar.
Thanks, Oscar.
This is what we need. This is obviously just a trial one, making sure everything works, but, I mean, I'm sure next one will be good as well if you're keen.
Yeah.
But I just think it'd be good. Can we get Alex Jones on this podcast? I can't say I'm not sure who Alex Jones is.
Do we not? I don't think we want Alex Jones on this podcast.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he's the.
Oh, isn't he the?
He's
the
the
green?
InfoWars guy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we will get him on. Personally, that's not something that appeals to me. But that's fine. You're allowed to be entitled to your own opinion. But yeah. We've kind of torn through our topics, really. But thank you for listening. I think we'll end it there. I think we've done enough. But please, this live stream will be staying on the actual official account as an actual video. So if you want, you can leave comments just saying any topics you want to talk about next time, anything you're interested in, anything we need to improve on.
And will this be every Tuesday extended form time?
So we will see. We can't do it next week, obviously, because we're not here. It's a
Easter weekend.
Yeah, Easter weekend. So it's a long weekend. So Tuesday's the teacher's only day for us, so we obviously can't do anything then. But we'll see about the week after. Not sure, but we'll just see how it goes.
Definitely.
But yeah, so thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
This has been fun.
And thank you, Chris, for getting it all set up.
Yeah.
Chris has done an amazing amount of work in a very short amount of time to do this all.
To be honest, I'm amazed that it was even accepted in the first place. I think teachers are far too trusting of me, but that's fine. But yeah, so anyway, thank you very much for listening. We hope this has brightened up your form class a little bit. We've got a couple minutes, about 7 minutes until the bell goes, so just chill out, have a chat, leave some ideas if you have any. Any with Alex Jones will be automatically removed or passed. So don't bother. But anything else is great. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. Have a great day, and we will see you next time. See ya. Cool.
Are we stopping live?